We were talking about a month ago and said it just feels like somebody on the defense needs to start making some plays to help the Tar Heels get off the field. Here's Storm Duck.
Yeah, that's right.
Storm Duck decided he was going to make all the plays that help the Tar Heels get off the field. Storm, of course, defensive back with Carolina football. Thanks so much for being with us today.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
What's changed in the last month or so? Defense wasn't playing great early on, but now, especially in the second half, it feels like they're getting some big stops.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's more of adjustments and guys coming out there and, just doing our jobs. And really, like I said, just coming out there executing and making the plays when it comes our way.
Storm, take us through what happens at halftime, because it feels like Carolina has been really good coming out of that halftime locker room, making some adjustments from the first half to the second half. When you guys get together in those 15, 20 minutes, what is that situation like, and how does it help you out on the field?
I felt the situation coming into halftime is like you see what the team has or what they're pretty much going to do. And if they found something that was working for them, they're probably going to try to run that in the second half. And coming in after halftime, seeing, making the adjustments and just going out there and just being where we need to be has been real successful for us. And obviously we want that to be the whole game. And that's always the plan, to make it the whole game. But it's been, really in the second half, just, the guys been coming out there and making plays.
When you're actually in the locker room, like when the coaches get you guys together, what's that session like? Are they scribbling on the grease board? Are they just talking with you? Kind of how do you guys communicate those changes that you want to make?
Yeah, it's a bunch of verbal and, just like a bunch of drawing things out and, just seeing the plays that they, we're working for them. And, just adjusting to that. And like I said, just a bunch of talking and a lot of communication.
When you're a guy like you who's seen a lot of things, how comfortable are you being the talker at times and telling the coaches things that you're seeing?
Honestly, I'm not too much of a talker. But if there's anything I do see, I'm going to come back and tell the coaches and vice versa for them if they see something that that could happen. That they're gonna communicate that with us too. So it's a bunch of going both ways with that.
Storm, it has been a journey with your foot, and I know it's been a frustrating one for you. Can you give us kind of just the summary of this journey that you've been on, trying to get yourself back to 100% healthy?
Yeah, for sure. So I had broke it my sophomore year going to Boston College game, and I tried to come back. At the end of that year, I think it was around the Miami game, then, obviously the Orange Bowl after that, but it just wasn't really right then. And going into the next year, I was feeling pretty good about it. And I had aggravated before that camp, at I think right before that camp. So that kind of had set me back a little bit. Then about halfway through, that lasted probably till halfway through my junior season. And I was still dealing with that, and dealing with it, through I ended up playing the last 6 games of my junior year,
right? And
just dealing with that, was just trying to get through it, and I actually had to have another operation done with it at the beginning of this year. So, it's been a long process, but I'm feeling great now, and that's the main thing, just progress, and not looking back at it and harping on it too much, just looking forward for the future. That's all.
I mean, obviously, everybody can understand that you need your foot to play football and to run and to plan and to do all those different things. But how difficult was it to find that confidence that it was going to be okay, that you could start doing the things that make you a terrific player and that you could trust that foot again?
I feel like finding the confidence is that. I mean, that's all it was. Obviously, when you have played sports and dealing with injuries, there are some mental blocks you're going to go through, and I feel like once you get over that mental block and don't think while you're playing and just play the game, that's when things are you're making more plays and reacting to things a lot faster, just being where you need to be.
What kind of plays do you feel like you can make now that maybe even a month ago you wouldn't have felt like you had the confidence to do that?
Definitely just breaking on balls and just getting out my breaks the way I need to be getting out my breaks. And like I said, I feel like that was just due to me not being as confident then, but me learning now I'm just going out there and just playing now, not thinking when I'm getting out of breaks or when I'm running downfield and coming back on balls, stuff like that.
Confidence is I mean, it's got to be like the key thing to play defensive back. How do you play defensive back when you're not 100% sure of yourself?
Honestly, you can't. You can't play defensive back if you're not 100% confident in yourself. And I had to realize that. And just trying to get back to how I was playing and trying to be better than that is, it's all a confidence thing. Like if you're out there at defensive back, you have to be confident because I mean you're pretty much out there by yourself. Some plays you might have help, some plays you might not. But if you're out there one-on-one, it's you against the other guy. So and you have to believe that you're going to make that rep better than his.
Can you settle this for all the fans who sit in the stands and complain about this thing? So when you're covering a receiver and the pass is thrown, are you supposed to turn your head and look for the ball, or are you supposed to be watching your man? What is the actual correct way to do it so that all the rest of us will know? All
right, so you're supposed to drive the man. Right when the ball gets out, I guess, depending on the coverage. But I mean, once the ball is thrown, you need to find where the ball's getting thrown to first. So I mean, it's a lot of things that a lot of DBs do. But obviously the correct thing is to once the ball's thrown, get your eyes on the receiver, and don't look back for the ball until you at the hip of the receiver.
So how hard is that to do? How am I supposed to cover this guy?
Well, he can't cover me regardless, so don't worry about that.
I'm trying to help just my daily life where I frequently have to cover really fast slot receivers. So how am I supposed to cover this guy if I don't really know where the ball is, but also I know if I get anywhere close to him, that official is going to throw a flag and say it's pass interference? How do you even do that?
So are you talking about I guess just breaking up on the ball or just –
Storm, let's don't get into the real deep techniques of playing corner because I've never really done that. I'm talking about I'm sitting in the stands at Kenan Stadium.
Gotcha.
The other team completes a pass, and you know what everybody says. Well, he didn't even turn and look for the ball. But if you turn and look for the ball, the dude's running past you. I at least understand that much.
Yeah.
So how do you balance all these things? It seems hard to do to me, but I've never covered anybody. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but I mean that's what I mean being defensive back is, and when they like I said when they do throw the ball, I mean a lot of guys say if their eyes do look at the ball instead of the receiver, I guess just breaking up on the ball, that's when you lose where the receiver is and you're just trying to get to the ball, and that's when I guess you miss the play. So usually, I mean, 9 times out of 10 the quarterback's trying to throw it to the receiver. So if you get to the receiver, that's where the ball's going to be at.
All right, Storm, I know you've talked about this a million times in your life, but you obviously have a very unique name. Can you give us a little bit of the background around Storm Duck, the name?
Yeah, all right. So my mom, I guess she watched soap operas, I guess, when she was growing up. I don't think she still watches them. I'm not too sure, honestly. But, yeah, so I think it was the Bold and the Beautiful.
Ooh.
Or I think it was Bold and the Beautiful. There's a character on there named Storm Johnson, and that's where I got my first name from, and then my dad's last name was Duck. So
I mean, you have to admit, it's a pretty awesome name.
I mean, I think it's all right.
Storm's like, it's my everyday life. Yeah, of course.
At what point did you realize it was awesome? Was there ever a moment in elementary school or something where you were like, I wish I could be Johnny Duck?
I mean, in elementary school, it was a little difficult then because, first day of school. I used to always dread the first day of school in elementary and middle school because everybody because the teacher would do roll call and everybody's name would get said out loud, and I always didn't like when the teacher said the full name, and because I just knew everybody was gonna just look and somebody was gonna laugh, but I mean as I got older I embraced it, and I mean.
Well, plus kids are jerks.
Yeah, who's laughing now? Storm Duck's getting picks against Virginia and helping the Tar Heels win the game. All right, Storm, before we get out of here, what's important here over the next month? Obviously, some big goals still out in front of you for this team. What's important for you guys to keep getting better and achieve some of those big goals?
Yeah, I say a main goal of ours is just to, just to execute and do what we're taught and just, remaining coachable and, just watching a lot of film and at the end of the day, just get wins and getting, week to week and focusing on 1 week at a time. That's our main goal.
That's the voice and pictures of Storm Duck. Storm, great to talk with you. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.